But speaking of what the CW wants us to be tuning into on their schedule, this time it'll become the fall. It's Walker Independence and the Winchesters. I think we should start with Walker Independence because we were underwhelmed by the trailer, even
Good way to
though
put it.
yeah, well, because I feel like we're giving like the audience like whiplash because we're like, oh, it's giving. Oh wait, it's not giving. Oh wait, it's giving and it's not giving again.
Kind of tonally all over the place. And to be fair, I mean, you both know that I was fashionably late to this recording, so I didn't get to rewatch the trailers like I had anticipated that I would. So it's not as fresh in my mind as I would have liked, but I do remember the feeling of watching it, and it was very, what is this?
Mm.
And like kind of, it's very different for the CW. It felt kind of like someone saw the Yellowstone prequel and was like, could we do that maybe? I don't know. Like I still want to be hopeful for it, but the trailer didn't win me over.
Yeah, yeah, I can get that. I feel like looks like it has a lot of potential, and I'm not sure all of it came across in the first trailer. It felt piloty in a way that it kind of like danced around the story. It went into the story, but that was quite troubling considering it's a season trailer. So I was like hoping for more. This is not like those. I always look back fondly on that 6 minute trailer of The Flash back in the CW's heydays, where they would release the pilot trailer and it would basically be the pilot episode in a 6 minute trailer. This wasn't that. This was supposed to be a season trailer, and yet it still all felt very piloty. So I think there's intrigue as far as where the story could go, but that trailer just felt very much like a jumping off point. And for a season trailer, it maybe should have felt a little bit more than that.
That's for sure. I know I'm gonna be here for Miss Kate Finlay as our undercover special agent burlesque dancer. She had maybe 30 seconds in the trailer, and I was already invested. And mind you, we didn't get any of her story. She's literally just talking to Cat McNamara's character, Abby Walker. And I was like, you've already hooked me. Kind of same with Matt Barr when I think his first appearance is it's just a back shot of him, and he's like looking at the rest of the town. And I was like, you are giving Rogue in this shot, and you've said not one word, and we're not even seeing your face. So I think they're going to be so strong. I really want to get into Cap's character, Abby. I think the trailer is sort of giving wayward widow who wants vengeance. And I know that's the plot of Walker Independence, but I want more for her. And perhaps it was just the way that it was shot or the way that they can't give away too much of how Abby's growth is going to be. So I want to be positive, and keep going into Walker Independence with positivity. So I'm going to hold my thoughts on Miss Abby because perhaps what I need is a whole 45 minutes and then I will be there on the train.
Yeah, it's hard to tell with this particular trailer what the show will be, which is, I mean, you kind of hope when you watch a trailer, you're kind of like, okay, I get what this is. But for this, it was kind of, for me, it was like the music and everything kind of took me out of it. So I was kind of,
Mhm.
I don't know, as we said, underwhelmed.
It was giving the opening shot for me was giving Lifetime, and that's not what I want for a CW show because if I'm gonna watch Lifetime, I'm gonna be on the Lifetime channel. Um, but like I know she's Bostonian, but when I first like that first I guess opening moment when she's talking to her husband, and then later on, I kind of felt like, and we're here in Texas, and I have lost my husband, and I will wander this desert until I find vengeance. Like that's what it was giving to me, and I was like, I don't want that to be the show.
Yeah, it
No.
it felt very like different from like obviously the Walker verse of what we know about it, but at the same time, it did feel very like we've been here with the genre before. So I don't know, it definitely felt like it walked multiple lines. I have hope. Again, it's called a season trailer, and they can't have shot more than a pilot. I don't know why they build it as that, but the episodes will tell more like standalone adventures. I assume as it goes on, you'll learn more about these characters. So I hope to get invested because we're all big fans of Cat, and the show has potential, even if the trailer didn't highlight all of it.
Have we
Yes.
been there though? Because this feels like a pivot away from what we're used to from the CW.
It
Mm.
is because it's a period drama. This would be their, I guess, for full real jump into a period piece, in a way that's going to be sustained. It's not just for an episode, or it's not for a few episode arcs. We're in the 1800s, so I guess there should be some grace given as they figure out how they want to do that on this network that predominantly is contemporary.
Yeah, definitely. It's interesting because I mean, the genre, we've seen this kind of things like in 90s TV series and Lifetime movies and other things like that. But you're right, it's like a completely different kind of thing for CW. And it'll be interesting to see how they mash their younger audience with this kind of like old fashioned approach. That makes it very exciting. So I hope the show kind of delivers on that front.
Yeah, it seems like with these two shows, specifically with the trailers that we saw, it's two completely different directions that they're kind of testing for the future. But maybe I'm thinking way too deep about that, and it's not that they're not thinking that consciously about the future of the network.
I mean, I think it's a great point though, because the Winchesters is another period piece. We're just not, I mean, we're in a different century than ours, but we're not that far away from 2022. And the Winchesters, and this is the one where it's super positive, it's so good and so cute, and it's giving Scooby-Doo. And I'm not sure how like the OG Supernatural fans are going to feel about it. They might be angry, but I'm I loved every minute of that season trailer. It's probably going to be the next CW obsession. Like, I think they're going to have a big fan base.
I was surprised how much I liked it, even though it was the one that I was really warming up to the more that I found out about it. But I know in the beginning, I'm on record saying that they should not try about any more supernatural spinoffs if this didn't work out. And I'm so glad they kept trying because this looks so good. The leads, Meg Donnelly and Drake Roger, have so much chemistry just in those clips. And I liked him a lot. Let's just say that much. But it felt like a WB throwback, whereas like Walker Independence was giving very much like the modern period piece drama
Mm.
that we see so much. But this was very like throwbacky to me, which I appreciate as a fan of WB. It kind of gave me like shades of Smallville, not necessarily in story, but like in vibe, if that makes sense.
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
bright and cute and like endearing, and
Mhm,
it feels very feel good, like it's gonna warm
mhm.
your heart. I was expecting angst, and they didn't give angst. They gave comedy, and lightheartedness. And Drake Rogers, as Winchester is such a puppy. Like, he's so lost, and it's so cute. I'm like, oh, I can't wait for like Mary to be exasperated with him as he asks all the questions. And she's like, we don't have time for this. Demons are on the loose.
Yeah, there's I got very attached very very quickly, and I didn't kind of expect that to happen with this. And I agree, it's very WB. It felt like it reminded me of Buffy. It reminded me of like Smallville, even the early days of Supernatural, because that show kind of pivoted into what a modern CW show is. But in the early days, it was very WB, and this reminded me of all of that. And I mean that in like the most positive way. It was so much fun, and I don't know whether this kind of show would have worked without the franchise backing it in today's day and age, but I'm very excited and happy that it does have that, because I do think this show has a lot more fight than it did on paper. And I really hope it continues to give what we saw in the first trailer.
I kind of hope that fans will give it a chance. I know that it's like diverging from canon, but as someone who doesn't have 15 seasons of supernatural context and doesn't really have a place in the conversation, I want to be respectful of that fandom. Um, but as someone on the outside, like, it looks so good. So I'm really open to that. And I hope that they give it a chance and let it do its thing and see what it has in store for the franchise at large.
Yeah. Unplug the brain and just watch.
It's fun. It looks
Yeah.
fun. It's meant to be fun.
Oh God. And for the CW, fun is what is necessary, especially, after all the cancellations. So if
Mhm.
you like, we need some fun in the fall as everyone sort of mourns the loss of their shows anyway. At least you can turn into the Winchesters, hopefully, and have a nice laugh and get a nice story.